All right, hey everyone, episode 12 of D'ART Shtajio's vlog. I'm our Henry Thurlow.
I'm Arthel Isom.
All right, so in an episode coming up in the future, pretty soon, I think we're going to go around and show a whole bunch of staff members and introduce you guys to some other people working here. But for a few more episodes, just bear with us. And I think it's just going to be us two. Yeah. So we thought we'd talk about the situation that's happening around the world right now.
Yeah, we had a few comments in our last video, which obviously had nothing to do with anything that's happening, but people have been sharing some concerns and questions about, you know, how things are affecting the animation industry, and you know, so we thought that it'd be kind of interesting to, well, not interesting, but we should address some of those concerns.
Well, so I think most of the world right now is in quarantine or something along those lines.
Yeah.
And I guess I imagine everyone's wondering, like, oh, what's the situation like for everyone? What's happening out there in Japan? Did they all shut down all the productions and stuff? So I guess I'm here to tell you that in Japan, nothing's different. We're doing the exact same thing as we've always done. We go to work, the subways are packed, the fast food places, McDonald's across the street has a line.
Everybody has their masks on.
A lot of people have their masks on, but to be honest, in Japan, half the people have masks on already anyway, all the time.
I think that's the
thing. I think there's like an extra 5% of people maybe wearing masks. It's pretty much the same thing. If I walk outside right now, there's people walking all up and down the streets. The anime industry is working. Yeah. We're picking up cuts later on today, passing out more. Business as usual in Japan.
Yeah, it's interesting because it's business as usual, but then there's there's obviously levels to it. It's not as extreme as it is in the States, and you know, so of course we hope that all of your families and things are okay, and that you all have prepared for the quarantines that's happening, and we know that everybody has to kind of stay in their homes now for a few weeks, so please, stay safe and bear with the situation. Try not to stress out. And here in Japan, we have events have been canceled. So that's true. So it's not totally normal. Like, so there is not. There is some shift from normalcy, just like everywhere else. So like all of the large concerts and
all concerts, all the conventions. Like Anime Japan was a big convention that was just canceled. The Vampire Hunter D creators event that I always go to was actually canceled. Like only time that's happened in like the 10 years.
Things that were is definitely a large gathering have all been.
And in fairness, schools did close down for a while. I think they are still closed, but I've heard they might reopen really soon.
Not until they're planning to reopen in April, but I guess it depends.
We'll see what happens.
The number of infected and stuff in Japan is kind of leveled out. Of course, we're just kind of put this disclaimer to match the one in the beginning of our video that you've seen. We're not doctors, and we don't work for the WHO.
So here,
so please take our commentary with a grain of salt. But we're not going to sit here and tell you what to do.
Not at all.
Please read those the necessary websites and things that are set up for you guys to do that. We're just talking about our experience and the anime industry, and that's it. But and giving you some commentary.
So I have public accounts, right? That my Twitter account, my Instagram account. I have a Facebook Henry Thurlow Animator account, and that's the one where I kind of put on this persona that I have now. I mean, I'm keeping it 100 here, but on my personal Facebook account where it's just friends, that's where just I curse every other word, and I'm just 100% me, right? So on that one, I kind of shared my opinion of in Japan, we're kind of not freaking out. Isn't the rest of the world freaking out too much? Hell's wrong with you guys? And my friends lost it. I had so many comments like, Henry, are you out of your mind? Take this more seriously. This is a big thing. This is a moment in human history and all this stuff. And I got yelled at. I'm probably taking it too lax myself. But in Japan, you wouldn't know what's going on in the rest of the world, truthfully. In my defense, I'm influenced by what I see around me, and what I see around me is not a government shouting stay inside and stuff like that. I'm just going to work every day.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting. Like each country is obviously handling the situation differently. So, and it's not to say that any country is wrong, though, right? And there, of course, Japan is much smaller than the United States, and so they have to. Each place has to take the precautions that they feel are necessary to ensure the safety of their people. But I will say, so we'll kind of get back onto the topic of like how does this affect the animation industry, because it actually does. It is affecting. Not infecting. It is. That's like what is it?
Freudian slips. It's infecting the anime industry.
Yes. It is affecting the animation industry. Actually, kind of in a big way. It's weird because Japan in itself, in the industry here, the companies are still essentially moving as best as they can. Mm-hmm. But of course, as in our previous videos, as we mentioned, we do rely, the animation industry, just as the industries in America, rely on all the other industries, right? And so we rely on other countries and partners in other countries who have totally stopped working. And so now we're like, so that's a big, I don't know, what would you call it? Like that, it doesn't stop the work here, but it definitely is a hindrance.
Well, who knows actually though? It doesn't stop the work here yet. Exactly as you said. I'll just kind of reword it. It's business as usual kind of in Japan, right? So everyone's still going to the studios and doing all their work and handing in their work. Animation, if you look in the end credits of any country's animation, to be honest, but in Japanese anime, you'll see Korean names and Filipino studios and things like that, Indonesian studios, and all of those countries have shut down totally. Yeah. So I honestly, so far I think every series airing probably has a couple episodes already done. So it
can't really name the series and things.
Oh no. Well, and to be honest, I don't know. I'm just guessing based on my experience of knowing how much in advance they have some stuff done, and what they can get done in house 100% in Japan. There'll be some series that are already produced a little in advance and can keep airing for a little while, but if there's months of all the Filipino studios and all the Korean studios and all the Chinese studios all shut down, there's no way everyone's in-betweens are all going to get finished. So at some point, I wouldn't be surprised if Japanese anime airing is massively influenced if this keeps going.
Yeah, I think so. So that's the thing. And then, how obviously all the companies now here are trying to, consider it. It's the same as obviously what's happening in the States with Hollywood and stuff. So movies have been shut down, or movie productions have been shut down. So right now we're all watching. Well, if you were watching a TV show that was airing, obviously in America, I think they shoot whole seasons ahead of time. Well, there are some that I guess are shooting. Oh yeah, they shoot it all ahead of time.
I think everywhere outside of the Japanese anime industry pretty much produces lots of stuff in advance. So you're a year ahead or 6 months ahead or something.
Right.
But anime is really produced like week to week almost.
Like we're like working on it.
Final renders are made like 24 hours before in really tight circumstances. And so like if all of a sudden during your crunch time that you think you're going to be able to finish something, 2/3 of your in-betweeners from the outsourced studios all say we're not doing any work.
Yeah.
I imagine coming soon there will be a whole lot of anime series that say we're going on a 3-month break. I can't imagine that they wouldn't. I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, then you have to kind of start. Well, sometimes when that happens, they have the reruns.
They'll have reruns. I think that's what
like that, or they'll re-edit things to kind of like catch you up on episodes that you might have missed or something. And then what else? So that is obviously kind of that has a major impact on the animation industry. And so I guess we'll see how that plays out, right? And what will be happening.
Yeah.
Then we have the other, the other aspect that I guess we can talk about, which is a little bit different. So of course, we're in the animation industry. So overall, the animation industry relies on a few other companies and other countries. So that's going to stop. But then we have the other aspect, which is more personal, I guess, or for D'ART Shtajio. because we're a small company, and obviously we're a foreign run company.
Yeah.
Now that's different, right? Because and we haven't heard anything yet, but of course, like as in America, there are subsidies and things to help large companies and things. But the same as with the smaller companies in the States, with like the supermarkets and things that might be going out, the mom and pop shops that are going out of business and things. You know, like small companies like us, where we're probably like one of the only foreign-owned animation studios, so we're just kind of stick to animation studios. But like, but of course we are small, and we haven't heard anything yet from the government about how they will help foreigners in Japan. You know, and like foreign-owned businesses in Japan, and that's a major issue. You know, so with that's another thing that's kind of happening that's affecting. At least us, D'ART Shtajio, because we kind of mainly focus on outside work. Like, you know, we focus on doing like shorts and things from more independent artists, and also commercials and things from the West. So without work coming directly to us, you know, that can affect our company, right? Because now we have no business anymore. You know, of course we do work with all the animation studios, but the, you know,
the scale,
the pay scale is different, and so it will, well, it is, you know, affecting our company. So
that's interesting. Arthel often stays away from specific business talk, and you know, because he does that, so do I. But frankly speaking, foreign clients everywhere outside of Japan right now are like, let's pause everything. And you know, for a giant company with some millions of savings, they're like, well, this will be a hard quarter. But for a small company, that's a huge deal. Like, that was our work for the next 3 months. So hard times at the moment, quite frankly. But we'll get through.
We'll get through. You know, we'll figure it out. You know, we'll try to figure it out. So, you know, if you guys are sitting there, you still want your animations and things, like we said, Japan is still moving. The art is still moving.
Yep.
So, you know, we can still produce things.
If you know someone looking to produce a commercial, and all of a sudden they can't because of this, oh no, everywhere's shut down. You know who's not shut down? D'ART Shtajio's not shut down.
Yeah, was it the shameless plug?
Yeah,
but, you know,
it kind of worked itself in there naturally. I don't feel too guilty about that one.
That was kind of natural. But but it is interesting because like that. So with foreigners, like a lot of some I think a lot of foreigners either went back to their countries and things, but we can't do that because we're running a business, right? If we just decided to just leave our staff and stuff and leave everybody here, then what would happen to the company, right?
That's
so
not gonna happen.
We have to kind of put our boots to the ground, and so you know, this is still just the beginning, I guess, right? This is the beginning of the, you know, everyone's saying that, like, you know, it's going to progressively get, well, I guess not progressive, right? It's not a good thing. I guess it's kind of like, you know, get a little worse. So that's a worry for much smaller companies. You know, I'm sure it's the same that's being shared by everyone, right?
Absolutely.
You know, we read the article with the GameStop and things like that, right? And, you know, so there's lots of smaller companies that this is definitely not something that were made to withstand. So if you guys have any advice, please put it in the comments. What should we be doing? You know.
In the meantime, Japanese clients are still open, so we'll be working on a whole lot of Japanese anime at the moment.
So now we're actually one solution. You know, so it's not really a solution, but we're like really focusing on internal. I think all of Japan is doing this probably because since the world is kind of shut down or is shutting down, you know, Japan, working for all of their effort to become like a international country is starting to become like, you know, they have to focus their efforts internally now, right? Which obviously it's not Japan's fault, right? This is what we have to do here. So, you know, since
anyway.
But that's that.
Guess we'll leave it here for now. Good luck, everyone. Just ganbatte.
Yes, it's all like ganbaru, and you know, we always say, Shtaji ga daiji.
Shtaji ga daiji. See you guys next time.